Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Parker, if you'd like to give us our mark, as is the tradition. Oh, real quick, before you do that.
Yeah.
I'm putting a commercial in this one. At some point, I'm going to say, and now a word from our sponsors, and then I'm going to read this commercial that Alex wrote during the episode, and then we're going to get back to the show. But that's going to happen. Or Alex, you can say it, whatever, or anyone can say now a word from our sponsors, but I guess anyone can say that. But don't...
Oh, yeah, and they're about to die. And now a word from our sponsors.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Well, you guys, wait. You have to wait for me to cue you in, though. You can't.
Nope.
Nope.
Sam,
ruined
you just
Sam.
gave us way too much power. And you can't bottle that back up. It's too late.
I wish I had started the intro to the show, so this would be on it. Because this is good content.
Just copy paste.
Yeah, you have an editor now.
Oh, is that how that works, Parker?
Yeah, that's how it works. Copy paste.
So just get Clippy to help me move that audio around.
IR podcast.
All right. Hello and welcome
and
to
now
Challenge.
A word from our sponsor.
Yep. I had that coming.
Beautiful, Brian. Beautiful.
Dear listeners, dearest adventurers, all those following along with our lovely show here, we have a sponsor now, and we will have a commercial at some point during this episode. We'll let you know when, but until then, I fear that my cast members are going to fucking troll me with fake commercial intros. So let me go ahead and try to start our show again. Hello and welcome to Challenge Rating 0, the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master, and now a word from our sponsors. Fuck you, I stole your thunder. Fuck right off, I already did it. And I'm joined as always by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Well, we need to build in now is like when we have to take these pauses, presumably in the middle of fights, we have to go meta with our ads so that we can discuss our strategy low-key, right?
Once again, we are dangerously close to taking far too great a step into the meta narrative. Beth, will you please fucking introduce yourself?
I don't go first.
Don't know who
it's
you
Brian.
Are.
Yeah, I didn't get to go yet.
Well, I'm all turned around.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Yep, there it is. There it is. Fantastic.
Hello, I'm Brian, and I play Hector the Gatekeeper, and I'm one of the sponsors.
Hello, I'm Beth, and I play Really Long Shadow, and I'm also one of the sponsors.
Hey, I'm Alex, and I play Ruger Firehide, and I am also a sponsor.
And last but not least, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker. Michael Parker playing the sponsor, Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
Does that mean Zurabak's a sponsor? I mean, it's his money, I guess. I wouldn't give it to us, but
it's not even his money. He doesn't hold on to it. Hector probably donated it wrote Zurabak's name on the card.
So obviously everyone out there can tell that we're all very excited about having an actual honest-to-God real sponsor. And all joking aside, we have one actual sponsor. It's Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. Thanks a lot. Just want to get that right out of the way, because none of the fictional characters that you all have crafted for this fantasy narrative are actually kicking into the show. But just want to make that clear.
I don't know, you said Zurabak was, so I believe you.
That was fun and pretend, sweetheart. That's
how he gets you, is by you think he's fun and pretend, and then you get eaten.
See, I was gonna say, and then you
Stab.
open your shower curtain and he's in your bathtub, because that's where I would.
Wait, who are we?
Zurabak.
Who are we talking about?
Zurabak,
Oh, okay.
obviously. He swapifies things.
Jesus. Okay.
No, I could definitely see Zurabak hiding in a child's closet, and then when their parent comes to, like, open the closet and, like, no, there's no monster in there, then, like, Zurabak uses some druid ability to blend in, and then as soon as the parent leaves the room, just... And he probably wouldn't even necessarily eat the kid right away, he'd probably just, like...
Oh, no.
Oh
Torture
my
and
God.
psychological of the most part.
Psychological, just psychological. That's all. Scary shadow puppets, probably. He is going to eat those parents, though. He's not even going to bother hiding.
Oh, so the
from the
pets.
parents. There's just
the
gonna...
pets are going to be a snack.
The pets first.
Okay. Can we please work on the spec script for the Zurabak horror movie later? Right now, we have...
I kind of want to do that now, though. Because I've got a new nightmare now. It sounds fairly awful.
Really, what is a
Parker?
D&D format if not an entirely open world that we can just shift into whatever we like?
I thought
At
this
any
was a
given time,
Gargoyles
right?
fan cast.
Alex,
Okay, but-
I'm going to get one T-shirt made that says that, and I'm going to staple it to your torso.
But I do want to
And then
real
we
quick
will make-
talk about Inception.
Okay, Brian. No one that listens to this show is going to understand that joke. That's for literally no one.
Oh, did you cut out all the jokes of it?
That
Or were they
Jokes
not on
is
mic?
a
I don't
strong
remember
word, I
anymore.
think, for what Brian's been doing for the last couple of years. Yeah.
When we
Yeah,
first
no,
started the
it's
show,
not a
sometimes
joke. I'm
we're-
just talking about the movie Inception.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Speaking of Jesus Christ, how was you guys' Christmas?
It was good. I had a small gathering with my close immediate family, and good times were had by all. I got some Axe body spray because I am 14 years old. Don't let my dulcet tones fool you. And yeah, how about you guys?
I mean, I made y'all cookies, so that happened.
Beth made 900 cookies.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Something like that. I had it all tallied up on my whiteboard.
Setting records.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They're good. They're good
ridiculous.
cookies.
They're very good cookies, and there's all different kinds. You guys, these cookies are top flight, just bananas.
I would really like if I was someone who, for example, lived in Colorado and thus couldn't have any of Beth's delicious holiday cookies. I would feel really bad.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, but you know,
Slash
Alex
Hector.
has to stay slender to cruise down those mountain slopes so he doesn't run into a tree with
That's
the terminal
true.
velocity.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like you probably don't want a lot
Yeah,
of
Alex.
extra pounds
Stay nimble.
on a hill. Yeah, that's kind of the point I was making, dude.
I don't know. I think it just makes you go faster.
Arguably, Brian started off with a good question. Me and Beth answered. Alex, how was your Crimbus?
It was.
I
good,
believe
man.
my child just shit her pants. Excuse me.
Ha!
Okay. That is staying in the show. That's staying in the show. Alex, how was your Crimbus?
It was lovely, dude. I got to see friends and family and listen to Christmas music and all the fun stuff. It was joyous.
You actually dragged your ass all the way back to St. Louis, didn't you?
I did. I hauled myself 850 miles to come see you guys. So feel the love.
I felt it in a place I'm not really comfortable describing on this podcast. Let's see. What else? Brian, how was your Crimbus? Was it good?
Yeah, it was fine. You know, it's Christmas.
Dope.
Santa didn't come this year because of COVID, but
What a touching reminder of this current state of affairs on this fantasy show we make. Excellent. Parker, Crimbus, good, bad, apathetic.
Least favorite holiday.
What?
Least favorite holiday.
Least favorite holiday? You heard it here first, folks. Is it the trees, the elves, the giving, the lights, The free cookies. What don't you like about Crimbus?
Probably the music the most.
I see where you're coming from there. I understand the hatred for holiday music in general. I fucking love the shit. I can't get enough of it. But my brain's weird and bad sometimes. So that's. But anyway. Great question, Brian. And with that out of the way, we are joined once again for a tale of epic fantasy. We got a lot of shit to recap. When last we left our heroes, Hector, Rilla, Zurabak, and the lawman Ruger Firehide were deep beneath the surface of the Ashen Islands, having sweet-talked and disguised their way through the layers of security surrounding Skullsplitter Palace, the seat of Laticia Skullsplitter, Queen of the Ashen Isles. Our heroes made their way into her throne room, where they parlayed with the evil pirate queen, showing her that her devotion to the stricken was actually wasted energy and worship going to the Lord Deceiver. After unpacking the problems with her faith, our heroes talked the good Queen Laticia into going into the dungeons and the levels below to the lava flow churning underneath Skullsplitter Palace. Zurabak took the mold given to him by Anthony Geist the Stricken, filled it with lava, and our heroes finally obtained the obsidian dagger that they came here to find, a piece of the powerful spell they will need to cast in order to fix the Glyph Purge. Not a moment after they had gained this powerful arcane instrument, did the leader of the Knights of the Pyre, the great and terrible Conflagration, confront our heroes and Queen Laticia, making a power play for ownership of the island of Garu and the volcano therein. Battle was waged as Queen Laticia summoned a beast made of bones to assail the Knights of the Pyre. Zurabak shaped the stone in this subterranean chamber, changing the flow of the lava and drowning himself, these Pyre Knights and their leader Conflagration, in a small lava trench to wail away at them. Meanwhile, Rilla and Ruger strafed to the side to draw some attention their way, all while Queen Laticia makes her way across this river of lava to a massive array of gears and chains on the far wall. So, we join our heroes now at the top of the initiative order. Combat still being waged between our protagonists, sweating, bleeding, dodging the flaming swords of these Knights of the Pyre, and we are going to begin things with Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates. It is your turn. To remind you of your current position, you have wisely decided to leave the lava trench that your friend Zurabak made, because fuck that noise, and you have scrambled up onto the stone platform to pursue the Pyre Knights, closing in on Rilla and Ruger. There are two Pyre Knights in front of your companions. You are 20 feet away from them. What would you like to do on your turn, sir? Oh, shit. I forgot to add that the last thing that happened before we ended last time was that a wave of reinforcements arrived. 12 more Knights of the Pyre descended upon our heroes from the dungeons above. Now, please forgive me. Hector, it's your turn.
Sorry.
That's fine. This is all staying in. I just got done with the recap. We're in the fight now. It's Hector's turn.
Yeah, I'm going to charge. I'm going to charge one of the... Do either of the two knights that are engaged with my companions look particularly damaged?
Yeah, so last time Ruger cut one down with his axes, and Rilla absolutely blasted one point blank range with some magic missiles. So there's one dude that's pretty ragged from some magic missiles and one dude that's still pretty fresh.
Okay, I'm gonna charge the dude that's looking a little worse for wear.
Fantastic. You surge over the superheated obsidian of the stone platform, raising your oversized maul high overhead. Go ahead and roll an attack roll as you bring your inertia to bear on this Pyre Knight.
It's been a minute since I charged. That's a +2.
You get +2 to your attack roll and -2 to your armor class next turn.
Cool. I'm going to power attack.
Of course you are.
I'm gonna take 5 away.
And because you're wielding a two-handed weapon, that means if you hit, you get to add 10 points of damage. Jesus Christ.
Speaking of Jesus Christ, how's you guys' Christmas? Oh, I already did that.
Oh, it's a looper. It's a loop episode. Oh, God.
Okay. Alright. That's 29 to hit.
29 is absolutely a hit on this Knight of the Pyre. You land a solid blow, flexing your enormous barbarian muscles as your oversized maul connects. How much damage?
26 points of damage.
That is a dead Pyre Knight.
Cleave.
Excellent. Yes, please do. So yeah, Hector, you completely flatten this first one, and you follow your momentum, swinging your hammer into the next fresh goon. Roll an attack roll.
Don't forget the cleave keeps the power attack and your charge bonus.
Okay. 25 to hit.
That is also a hit. Nicely done.
Oh boy. This one's not as good. It's only 24 points of damage.
A devastating blow. You crunch this poor Pyre Knight's armor, denting his burnished breastplate into his chest. He coughs up some blood and groans in pain as he falters back a step from the unrelenting might of your blow. He is still alive, but terribly, terribly wounded. Nicely done, Hector. That is your turn. Over your shoulder, you see the dozen new arrivals are forming up, and they're about they are actually all unlimbering crossbows. They're starting to form two ranks and crank those bitches up. Rilla, it is your turn. You've got one Knight of the Pyre directly in front of you and Ruger Firehide. There's still a couple of Pyre Knights in this trench that Zurabak is trying to fuck up, and a bunch of reinforcements just arrived. What do you want to do?
Well, this is not looking great. I'm tempted to just toss a fireball at him, but I know that's not going to be particularly effective. I just don't have any, big range magic.
It's always fun.
Only we played one of the newer versions where you could just have spell cards.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking nice.
I think they made spell cards for 3.5.
Yeah, but Parker, when 3.5 was new, I didn't play D&D. I just mocked you for playing D&D. Remember? Remember high school? Wasn't it so fun?
Super good. Getting hit by your purse, my favorite stuff.
It only had one paperback book in it. It wasn't that heavy.
It felt like a brick, but
that's because I'm very strong.
I will not fight you on that because I'll lose every fucking time. I'm a soft, sensitive boy.
Okay, so you're saying they'll have range weapons? Essentially, and they're cranking up to shoot at us?
Yeah, these
Cool, I cast Obscuring Mist.
Now, I believe Obscuring Mist is centered on you, correct?
Correct.
So awesome.
So if they are...
So what is the radius for your Obscuring Mist?
It's a 20-foot radius from me, 20 feet high. If you're 5 feet away, you have concealment. If they're further, they're total concealment. I mean, we won't be able to see them, but they also won't be able to see us, right? Which means that their wall of arrows won't murder me.
That's very true. I mean, that's instant cover for you and Ruger and Hector for sure. So you cast Obscuring Mist.
Yeah, fuck it. More chaos on the battlefield.
The air around you begins to swirl with a thick and cloying mist that radiates out from you. Maybe one of the first spells you ever learned. I think we tackled some of that stuff. Usually,
the first spell I ever cast.
yes. Usually a manifestation of sorrow, and I can imagine you're not super stoked about this turn of events. But yeah, the air around you swirls with a cloying mist. So, Ruger and Hector, you are effectively blind. You can both see the goon right in front of you, but anything farther than that is going to be difficult to see. But you have been hidden from the view of these archers. Excellent fucking move, Rilla. Nicely done. Did you want to move at all or stay where you're at?
I want to keep an eye on my meat shield, so can I see Hector and Ruger? Because if so, then I'm staying.
Yeah, they're both right next to you.
Cool. I'm good.
Excellent. That is Rilla's turn. That's going to bring us to Snake. So, Snake is in the small lava pit that Zurabak has made by shaping the stone of this platform you're all on. He is facing down 3 Knights of the Pyre and Conflagration. I believe Snake is currently wrapped around one of Conflagration's legs.
Yes.
Fantastic. What would Snake like to do this turn?
That's a good question. How many goons are down there with them?
There are still 3 goons down there. Your quote-unquote sister, Queen Laticia, has unleashed this terrible bone monster, which is mauling one of them. But that leaves 2 unmauled.
Yeah, he's probably going to stop grappling and go to bite one of them.
Fantastic. Does he want to team up with the bone monster?
Sure, that'll be some sort of flanking, I assume.
Yes, go ahead. So Snake unwinds itself from the fiery leg of Conflagration, the leader of these Pyre Knights, who has turned herself into a fire elemental, and Snake slithers through this lava, protected by your resist fire spell, cast upon both of you last time we played, and slithers up and goes to bite this fucking Pyre Knight. Roll an attack roll for Snake.
22.
That is absolutely a hit. Your Snake's fangs find purchase on this Pyre Knight's arm. They dig deep. This Pyre Knight's going to roll a saving throw against that poison, and
DC 15. Or, sorry, 14.
They got the saving throw, but they're still going to take damage.
10.
All right. That is just enough. That is a dead fucking Pyre Knight. Excellent. Your Snake slithers up behind this Pyre Knight that is trying as hard as it can to fend off this horrific bone monster that your quote-unquote sister, Queen Laticia, sicked on it. And as he raises his shield up to fend off a blow from this monster, your Snake dashes in, bites him, and rips his arm free, sending him sputtering, fountaining blood into this pool of lava, which washes over his face as he lies down into it. Fantastic. That is Snake's turn. That is going to make it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, you are currently grappling the Great Conflagration, leader of this band of Pyre Knights. They are currently in the form of a fire elemental, a humanoid mass of raging flame. Only your druidic magics have kept you from burning to a fucking cinder. As you wrestle with this creature, what would you like to do?
We went over last time that wouldn't be a dispellable effect, correct?
That is correct. From what you can tell, the flaming halo that hung above Conflagration's head is now visible inside the chest of this fire elemental. It's the only sort of solid thing you can see in there, and that seems to be the source of her magical powers. This doesn't seem to be dispellable.
Oh, right. I remember what I was going to do now.
He remembers, folks. Hold on, folks. He remembers, folks. Hold on.
Hold on.
This is what I get for letting all of you be casters. This is what I get. Even the barbarian's a caster now.
I'm not looking at magic.
What are you doing, Parker?
I'm rolling to pin. I was just making sure I could do the thing.
You are currently grappling this creature. If you would like to pin them, then yeah, you got to win on an opposed grapple check to win that maneuver. So,
There it is, 27.
27 is a very good number. This elemental rolling to defend against that got a... well, here's the fun thing. They got a 29, but I rolled a 1. So, yeah, that...
It's qualified as a skill check.
Cool. So I got a 29 then. And that lets you know where I'm at with this elemental. So you wrap your arms around this thing's leg and you leverage against where you think its knee might be. But this thing's physiology is not like, normal meat bags that you're used to pushing around and slaughtering. So heave as you might, you're unable to get a good grip on the flickering substance of this elemental's form, and they're able to resist your attempts to pin them, unfortunately. Is that all you'd like to do this turn? Fantastic. So as Zurabak keeps heaving on Conflagration, trying to make her... I believe the game plan was drink the lava. Is that the game you're playing over there, drink the lava?
I mean, that's still the overarching plan. Snatch her thingy, then make her drink the lava.
There you go. That is going to make it your sister's turn, quote unquote. Queen Laticia Skull Splitter, Queen of the Ashen Isles, has finally made her way across the metal scaffolding that is hanging over this river of lava. As she gets to the other side, a large obsidian platform mirroring the ones you are all battling on currently, she sachets her way over in her beautiful resplendent gown lined with bones and takes one powerful half-orc arm and grips a large lever and heaves on it. As she does, a horrific cacophony of spinning gears, rattling chains fills this chamber, and one of the 3 massive steel gates on the far end of this room at the origin of this lava flow slams shut, locking into place, and one of these 3 lava streams is completely shut off, holding the lava behind this metal gate. So now of the 3 lanes in this chamber, 2 of these channels have been completely cut off by these metal gates. She looks over at the gate, nods her head curtly, and starts making her way to another similarly sized lever just a bit farther down. And that is her turn. That makes it Ruger Firehide. Ruger, you have a Knight of the Pyre directly in front of you. You are currently surrounded by obscuring mist, swirling, cloying fog, blocking your sight slightly. You have a 20% miss chance since this dude's right next to you if you want to hack and slash him, or you can do whatever the fuck else you want. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go ahead and hack and slash with my pair of axes.
I believe because you're dual wielding and you're level, 8?
Yes.
You get 4 attacks a turn. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Fantastic. Surely, chances are one of these have to do it.
So should I roll a percentage die first?
Roll it with the roll with the attack. Fuck it.
Okay.
20 and below, you miss.
So I got 54 on the percentage die, and
Awesome.
I got a 28 to hit.
That is absolutely a hit. Your first attack rings true even with this cloying fog surrounding you.
For minimum damage, so I do 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And then next attack. 69 on the percentage dice.
Nice.
And
Nice.
17. Does 17 hit?
Unfortunately, 17 is not enough to get through this Knight of the Pyre's burnished breastplate. Please roll again.
Still nice, though.
Still nice. Nice.
All right, so that's a 61 and 24 to hit.
Absolutely a hit. You score your second blow and one last time.
Ooh. 9 points of damage. And then last attack. 56%.
Mm-hmm.
And 18 to hit.
18 will do it.
Hey. So that is 6 points of damage. Now, wait a minute. Is this guy human?
Yes.
Okay, then I get +4 damage versus humans. So add in a total... What, I hit 3 times, so an additional 12 points of damage.
Damn! Yeah, tell me how you kill this fucker.
So, surrounded by mist and draped in my duster coat, I, with my battle axe, bring it down, a crunching blow and a shoulder blade shearing into his clavicle. And then I take my second axe and stick it right in his side and kind of march forward a little bit, holding both axes before I violently rip them both out at the same time.
Fuck yeah. Very cool.
Are you wearing your duster with your disguise? Is that what I just
That-
heard?
Yes, that's what you just heard.
It's fine, okay? I'm a stylish knight of the Pyre.
You guys may have walked in here disguised as Knights of the Pyre. The second your cover was blown, you blinked your eyes and Ruger's in the hat and coat. That
Fire
just
hat.
happens.
It's quick
He
draw, but
spends,
it's
like-
just for his outfit.
Absolutely. He spins like Wonder Woman and they just appear. Excellent. Yeah. You have dispatched this Knight of the Pyre in fantastic fashion. Your axe is flashing. And yeah, you completely fucked that dude up. That is going to make it the bad guy's turn. Now, Zurabak and Snake are submerged in a trench, a lava pit. I've used every goddamn word for this crevice. There's another one. This trench, pit, crevice, ramp. The lava hole. There we go. Zurabak is submerged in this lava hole fighting.
Gotta pay a toll to get into the lava hole.
There. I think everyone in the lava hole is paying quite enough. Thank you. So, Zurabak, you and Snake can't see over the lip of this thing. You're also too busy to see fucking anything. Also, Ruger, Rilla, and Hector, you can't see anything farther than 5 feet away from you in this obscuring mist. So you all expect to hear the click of crossbows and the singing of quarrels just ripping through the air down here. What you hear instead is a rumbling and a loud slamming sound. You hear a roar, "Kill the firebugs!" and screams of surprise as something starts battering these Pyre Knights around. Yeah, none of you can see shit. That brings us back to the top.
We recognize the voice.
It does sound familiar.
Beth thinks she knows who it is.
That makes it Hector's turn. Hector, you're surrounded by swirling mist. The foe you pursued in here has been slaughtered right in front of you by Ruger Firehide. And you're hearing all these crazy sounds of battle going on. What would you like to do?
Zurabak's yelling, "Drink the lava." Somebody's yelling, "Murder firebugs." You know, the usual.
I'm sorry, that's very important for my headcanon. Has Zurabak been screaming all 4 rounds of this combat, "Drink the lava" at the top of his lungs?
Yes.
Okay, great. I needed to know that. And now our listeners know that too. Listeners, you're welcome. Go ahead, listen to the last episode again, but just have that in your head as you do. Yeah, Hector, what would you like to do?
I've known exactly what I was going to do since Rilla's turn, and as always in D&D, the very last thing that happens just before my turn completely throws out what my original plan was.
What was your original plan?
Well,
Murder a dude?
no, we're not going to be able to fight 12 more of these fuckers. So it was like I was trying to figure out a strategy for getting everyone out of here alive. But now it sounds like we might have some backup. So my original plan was going to be to run out of the mist and leave a ghost sound that made it sound like there was still battle happening inside the mist.
Tricksy.
But instead, I'm going to run out of the mist towards where I last saw the Knights of the Pyre.
You run straight forward out of the swirling mist created by your companion, Rilla, and you see fucking Bedlam before you. The column of 12 Knights of the Pyre with their crossbows in their hands are being ravaged by a very familiar shape. A hulking, muscle-bound ogress, wearing clothes seemingly patched together from discarded black sails, is swinging an anchor on the end of a chain and leveling Pyre Knights left and right. Beside her is a very familiar goblin with a tricorn hat pushed down over his floppy ears, and he is laying about with his hook hand, and you see Pretty Polly and his first mate, Mrs. Fisher, just devastating these Pyre Knights. They've taken out one or two of them before you even got out here, and they are keeping them occupied. You see a massive rope leading up into a giant grate that seems to have been smashed out of the ceiling above you. And even as you watch, Polly touches that large ruby earring hanging from one of his ears, and it glints, and there's suddenly 6 Pollys that appear out of nowhere, and they just start swarming all over these Pyre Knights. That is what you see.
Okay. So then Hector calms down out of his rage,
Okay.
breathes a sigh of relief, and drinks a health potion.
Hey, nice.
Because I was dying.
It's good to take a break every once in a while, get some electrolytes, just, take a chill pill.
It's what plants crave.
It is what plants crave.
And I have healed 15 points of damage.
That's pretty good for a potion.
Yeah, that does entirely make up for all of the temporary hit points I just lost.
Life is a barbarian. Great. So, Hector, you rush out of the mist. You see this crazy melee going on as Polly and Mrs. Fisher just fuck up these Pyre Knights. You quaff a potion. Rilla, it's your turn. You're hearing all this ruckus. You are in this obscuring mist. What would you like to do?
I run forward towards Zurabak. What do I see?
You run towards Zurabak, and the second you're out of this mist, you have to catch yourself from teetering into the lava hole. The area of your mist stops like just before this hole in the stone starts, so you teeter and catch yourself, and you see that Zurabak is in this pit, which has like a foot thick standing lava just in it, and he and his snake are battling conflagration and 2 remaining Pyre Knights as they splash around like kids in a fucking pool in this lava. Conflagration is shaped like an enormous fire elemental. You see there is a ring inside her chest that seems to be made out of a darker red flame. There's 2 Pyre Knights still standing trying to fend off Zurabak's snake and Laticia's bone monster. What would you like to do?
And Letitia's up on the walkway that's, I guess, inaccessible.
Letitia's on the far side of the room across what remains of this river of lava from you.
Okay. There's like no way to get up to her.
You can start going across the walkway she took if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing, so I think what I want to do is I'm gonna move 30 feet towards her, and while I'm doing that, I'm just gonna shoot a magic missile at one of the Pyre Knights down in the pit. That's what I'm
Excellent.
find some more D4s. Hang on a second. 14 points damage. And
Excellent.
yeah. What's going on with this lady?
So you casually cast your hand out and you throw some magic missiles and you blast the hell out of one of these Pyre Knights left in the pit. There's only 2 of them. They are now back to back trying to fend off this horrible bone monster and this snake. And as the bone monster has one of their This crazy bone monster has its jaws wide and it's trying to bite down on this Pyre Knight's head. And the Pyre Knight's desperately trying to keep the jaws open and away from him. And then 5 of your magic missiles shaped like beautifully carved elven arrows smash into his back. He loses his grip and this bone monster just smashes onto his head, killing him. So yeah, there's one douchebag left in that pit, and then you start sauntering your way over to Laticia. You get to the start of this walkway. It took you a bit to walk out of your obscuring mist. But yeah, you can see that what she's standing on is obviously the mechanism to raise and lower these gates. You also know, you were told by Polly, that if all 3 of these gates are dropped, the fucking volcano explodes.
So
this underground...
I scream, hey, Laticia! You burning this place down?
They think they can take Garu. I am Garu. It's my volcano, my castle, my island, my weak subjects. I'll burn it all to the ground before I let some
Do it!
candle flame rob me of my birthright.
So if you die, Garu dies?
She squints at you.
I wouldn't try it.
Oh, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm just saying if you set off a volcano while you're down here, you're probably going to die. So maybe this isn't the best plan.
If setting off the volcano down here killed you, I wouldn't set that. We'll be fine.
Okay.
There's contingencies.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic. And Rilla, that is your turn. It is Snake's turn. Snake's in the pit. There's one goon and one conflagration in the pit. There's also a bone monster that seems to be on your side.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. It's having fun down here in the lava.
It sure is.
Listening to me yell about drinking it.
What does Snake do, you son of a bitch?
He's going to continue to try to love someone down there.
Get in the pit and try to love someone.
And he goes to do the bites.
Did I make that joke last episode? I probably
I don't
did.
remember. It's been months. Years.
It's been a long time. What'd you get on that attack roll?
25.
25 is a hit. Your snake's fangs find purchase. They slip past this burnished breastplate into their armpit. It's horrifically painful.
9 points of damage and a 14 DC of the fortitude varieties.
Hey, they didn't get it. Wow. Oh, this poor fucker. Oh no.
Do I actually have to look at D6? No, that's the damage.
Where
you
so
at?
yeah, your snake's
D6
fangs
con.
penetrate deep into this poor bastard's flesh and pumps deadly toxins into him, and their system just can't take it.
Takes 5 points of constitution damage, and in a minute he'll take another D6.
Okay. 5 points of con damage. Yeah, that guy turns visibly green. There are his veins stand out pulsing green in his skin as this venom just races up his neck and into his face. He sags visibly and looks terribly, terribly hurt. He is barely alive. Zurabak, it's your turn. You got your arms wrapped around conflagration, and are you trying to pin again?
Yeah.
Okay, opposed grapples.
It's not going to work too well, but you got to try.
Zurabak is dedicated. Well, I rolled kind of bad. What'd you get?
And I rolled mediocre, 26.
26, that's not gonna do it, bud. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, that is not quite enough. But you are desperately struggling to twist and pivot and shift this elemental around, and you're unable to find the leverage you need to bring it low. But you start to see that some of the Pyre Knights, some of the reinforcements that aren't being engaged by Pretty Polly and Mrs. Fisher are staring at you with their mouths open. There's like 2 or 3 of them that are watching you just take this heat and fire and not burn while you have your arms wrapped around their leader in her most powerful form, and they are absolutely awestruck by your prowess. They look...
I shall drink the lava again.
One of them bends down like he's gonna get a handful of it, and his friend like pulls him up like, "Don't, fucking idiot." That makes it Queen Laticia's turn. Queen Laticia strides confidently to the last lever in the row. She takes her powerful half-orc arm, well-muscled, and pulls the lever. And once again, another one of these enormous metal gates starts to fall with the rattle of chains and the turning of massive gears. But unlike the first gate that fell, this one comes to a sudden and violent jerking halt halfway down. Its bottom edge doesn't even touch the lava as it swings violently as if something snapped it in place. Laticia looks at the lever and frowns and starts pulling on it violently back and forth. "Stupid thing, work!" And Rilla, since you're up on the catwalk, you can see that one of the massive lengths of chain holding onto this gate is tangled around a shiny metal shield. It seems that one of these Knights of the Pyre has broken off from the wave of reinforcements and has somehow managed to wedge their shield into one of these enormous links of chain as it is feeding through one of these cogs and has essentially stopped this mechanism from working, stopping the gate from falling and stopping the volcano from erupting. This douchebag happens to be on your side of the chamber. That is Queen Laticia's turn. She says, "Pretty one, kill the fire, idiot."
I'm busy.
The other pretty one. Let's see.
Snake
Ruger
hisses.
Firehide. It's... Oh, what's up?
Snake hisses.
Ruger Firehide, it is your turn. Your last enemy was dispatched with great prejudice. There is sounds of battle happening all around you. There's stuff going on, but you are currently in a swirling fog. What would you like to do?
I would like to generally move towards the exit of this room. Hopefully getting out of the mist if that's in the way.
So you walk about 20 feet forward to the edge of the mist. You're standing right next to Hector. Hector walked to where the reinforcements are battling Pretty Polly and Mrs. Fisher, and they are standing. This whole melee is blocking your entrance and exit into this giant subterranean chamber. The tunnel you came out of beneath the dungeons of Skull Splitter Palace are directly in front of you, and between you and that tunnel is about, we'll say 9 now. Knights of the Pyre who are busy but still very much blocking your path out of here. You do notice, however, now that you're out in the open, Zurabak is trying to wrestle a living fire in a pit full of lava. So basically your biggest nightmare ever come to life. There's 6 Pretty Pollys for some reason. Across the way, Queen Laticia is trying to drop the last of these gates to blow up the fucking volcano, and a Pyre Knight seems to be stopping that from happening. But most of all, Ruger, since you're looking for an exit, you see a very large, thick rope, big enough for an ogre to climb down, that is heading up, up, up to the ceiling of this chamber and leading into a massive hole that looks like a grate was recently kicked out of to admit Pretty Polly and Mrs. Fisher. And that is currently undefended. Now, with all this going on, and dear listeners, I apologize that this is so goddamn confusing. Got a lot of stuff going on. Got a lot of things happening. But yeah, Ruger, what would you like to do?
I'm thinking that I'm going to want to climb up that rope. Start making my way up the rest of my movement speed.
Excellent. Ruger Firehide, seeing that shit's about to get very real down here, rushes over to the rope and begins climbing. Roll me a climb check.
16.
Okay. Yeah, that is more than enough to start getting up there.
Okay, so while hanging from this rope, can I fire a shot with my crossbow?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Take a.
Yeah, you get about 10 feet up this rope with all your movement speed, and yeah, you can certainly fire a shot with your crossbow one-handed. You can't load it or anything like that, but yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and pop a shot at.
Who are you aiming at?
I don't know if a crossbow's gonna do much against the fire elemental, but can I shoot at that all the same?
Yeah, roll an attack roll.
That is a critical 1.
So in this particular instance, unfortunately, no. Your crossbow bolt sails across the space between you and this fire elemental. You are on, I would say, unsteady footing as you are like fucking CrossFit climbing this rope with one arm and your legs. And the kick from your crossbow swings you backwards like a pendulum. And the bolt is burned up like a foot away from the raging flames of this fire elemental. It's dead on the money, but it just is incinerated by the heat radiating off their body. But yeah, you were on the rope. You were heading up. Fantastic. And that is Ruger's turn. Yeah, that makes it the bad guy's turn. So Conflagration is getting a little tired of Zerback's shit. So they are going to, let's see. Yeah, they're going to fucking slam you again. Let's see. Attack roll with the penalty and the grapple. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, okay. So I rolled a crit, but to confirm the crit, I rolled a 1. So you just get hit normal. So yeah, as you are gripping this thing's leg, Conflagration hauls back with one of their great fiery fists and smashes it down on you, Zerback.
Okay.
Let's see. You are going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And let's see. There's one goon left down here in the pit. And this goon is going to desperately try to free their master from your grip, giving no regard to their own safety. So this one last Pyre Knight is going to try to stab you in the back with its sword. Let me see here. Let's see. I got a...
It probably hits.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't need much with you. I got a 19 to hit you.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So that is going to be 7 more points of slashing damage. And then the rest of these bad guys are trying to fend off Mrs. Fisher and Polly. You see that Polly is like hamstringing these fucks with his hook hand. All 6 of his weird copies are swarming all over them, hooking and slashing them. And Mrs. Fisher is grabbing dudes off of their feet and like hurling them against cave walls. She's swinging this anchor chain around crazy. These Pyre Knights are not doing too terribly well. There's about 6 of them left, I'd say. And one of the many Paulies looks around at all of you and says, I told you there was a secret way down here. If you'd just gone through the vent like I told you, through the sauna, you could have gotten here without attracting all this attention. Listen, I know that look in Letitia's eye. She's gonna blow the whole fucking mountain. You're gonna want to get up the rope, up and out. We'll try to hold them off for you. And that is their turn. The one bad guy that's by the chain is now taking his sword and trying to like wedge that into the chain as well to keep this gate from falling down and cutting off the lava, sealing off that stream of lava. So that's the bad guy's turn. Hector, it is your turn. There's a pitched battle with Polly and Mrs. Fisher. Zurabak still fighting conflagration. One of these goons is trying to stop the mountain from exploding.
I don't care about anything you're saying right now. Did you just say the word gate?
Let me rephrase that. Hector, it seems there's a gate that needs to be, kept. They're really good gates. Like they're made very well. It's very good gate construction. They got well-balanced chains.
Trying to mess with the mechanisms?
Someone is vandalizing the mechanisms of a gate, Hector. It's happening right over there.
Well, no, it's happening right in front of me as I charge my way over there. How far away from me is he?
He's about 40 feet away from you.
All right. Yes, I am. I have been severely burned. I was fighting in lava for a little bit during this fight. I was just standing in lava.
You sure were. But yeah, you were. Your magic boots are not rated for straight up fucking lava.
But as I'm sweating and honestly, though, I don't think I'm bleeding much. I think most of my wounds have been cauterized.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But I see this going on, and I make my way over. What do you think you are doing?
I am keeping the eternal flame from burning too brightly. We are shepherds of the great flame. We cannot let this mountain be destroyed. Cannot let our forces here be destroyed. You wouldn't know anything about it. Who are you?
My name is Hector, the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates, and Bard Extraordinaire of the College of Everspring. And this gate will not be meddled with any longer. And then I swing my big-ass hammer at his face.
Swing your big-ass hammer at his face, Hector. See if I care.
Hammer time.
Do it, coward.
24 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna do it, bud.
17 points of damage. That's nearly max when I'm not raging.
He is bloodied, but still alive. Your massive maul cracks the cartilage in the joints of his leg as you nearly sweep him off of his feet, but he dances back a little bit, still standing.
And that's my turn.
Cool.
Wah, 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 wah.
He is absolutely distracted, completely fixated on you. He has abandoned the shield that he has wedged into this chain, and he is holding his sword, trying to fend you off. That is Hector's turn. That's going to bring us to Rilla. Rilla, Queen Laticia has asked you to take care of this chain problem. I don't know if you're inclined to do so. There's a fight with your pirate friends and the Knights of the Pyre. Zurabak is still engaged in a battle with conflagration, and there's a goon fucking with the gate. What do you got?
Laticia, I'm not dying for Garu. Guarantee me there's a way that we're going to be able to get out of here if we explode your volcano.
Why would I make my dungeon kill me? It doesn't make sense. The levers are down here to use the levers. Just fucking work with me here.
Okay, cool. So where is the shield like slammed into the gate? Is it up? I mean, is it in the chain up high? Is it reachable? Like where?
It
What am I
is
looking
like
at?
20 feet above. It's about 20 feet above the ground. I'd say it's about 40 feet away from where you're currently standing. But yeah, it is a little airborne. It's not something you can like walk up to. This guy wedged the shield in the chain. It whirred upward and got stuck in one of these cogs.
All right. I can do double movement if all I do. Well, no, that won't work. Shit. I cast spider climb on myself. That's step 1.
Okay.
And then
solid, excellent.
And then I run at the chain that I'm just gonna walk up. Is what I'm gonna do. So that's my plan.
So cool. Fuck, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll say. Oh no, you got up on that walkway, didn't you? Yeah, you're closer to this thing than. Yeah, sure. You cast spider climb on yourself, and you step out onto one of the chains, like holding the walkway from the ceiling, and then it's just a hop, skip, and a jump over to this chain connected to the gate. Fuck, that's cool. You walk, perfectly balanced, sticking like an arachnid to this chain. Tightrope walking over a fucking river of lava as you get to this cog where the shield is stuck.
I do some fun little jumps that are not necessary as well. Little twirls, obviously.
Well, now you're gonna have to roll me a balance check.
Aw, do I really? Aw, but it's
if you're gonna do cool twirls and shit, yeah.
You know, fuck it. I want one cool twirl. I'm not great at balance. I might die, but it's worth it.
I can't wait.
Hey, I rolled a 16, so that's a 19.
Yeah, you're great. You do so many dope-ass twirls, man. You're like fucking Spider-Gwen up there. It's kick-ass. You're like spinning and doing backflips and shit. So you get to this shield. What do you do about it?
I kick it out of the chain. I just want to punt it into the lava. Because I don't care.
You raise your foot and you bring it down on the edge of this shield. That is stuck in this gigantic link of chain. And as your booted foot hits it, it shifts. You bring your foot down again. It shifts again. And finally, with a metallic screeching, you are able to slam this shield out of this link of chain. What happens next is that with explosive kinetic energy, the chain you're standing on starts feeding itself into the cogs you're right in front of. So I'm going to need you to roll me a reflex saving throw to not get caught in the fucking machinery of this gate.
I rolled a 15, so that's a 22.
Okay, yeah, you're great. You start moonwalking like you've never You are running full speed down this fucking chain like as it is feeding into these cogs. And yeah, as you do so, this last gate fully falls, slamming into place along with the other two that have previously descended. And now all 3 of these channels of lava flow are completely cut off. This vent, releasing pressure from the bowels of this active volcano, is completely closed off behind these gigantic walls of metal, and they start to shake. They become red and then white hot, and they start bulging. And you're now standing on like a stationary length of chain. And Laticia looks up at you and says, "I lied. We need to get out of here very quickly."
You cunt! I scream.
That makes it. This is Zurabak's sister. Don't fuck around. That makes it Snake's turn. Excellent turn though, Rilla. Good shit as always. What does Snake do?
Bites the man.
Fantastic.
Hopefully. 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
Are we? Is he flanking?
Sure, yeah.
I assume the bone creature's gonna wail on this dude.
Yes.
And 4 points of damage.
Okay. Let's see, 4 points, and then Yep, that's enough to kill his ass. With that horrific poisoning taking down his max HP and his current HP, that measly 4 points of damage is enough to kill this last Pyre Knight, leaving you, your snake, and this bone creature in the pit with conflagration, still in the form of a fire elemental. The ground beneath your feet is starting to shake violently.
Snake probably starts eating that dude.
Great, yeah. Snake starts wrapping his massive mouth around this entire person. The ground beneath your feet is starting to shake violently, and you're starting to hear the sound like only cracking earth can make, as giant spiderwebbing cracks start to appear in the ceiling and the floor around you. That makes it Zurabak's turn. Zurabak, you are riding the lightning, bud. What do you got?
Well, I'm going to use my standard action to do Aspect of Nature.
Ooh, this is the first time you've used this ability on Mike that we actually get to keep and use for the show. Aspect of Nature, for those that give a shit, is a special ability that Parker chose in lieu of what druids normally do, which is Wild Shape. So normal druids, like those in the Circle of the Serpent and other druids we've met in this campaign, can turn into different animals at will. What Zurabak took was the ability to morph parts of his body into animal-like things. So he can grow gills and fins or make a giant set of fangs. What are we using Aspect of the Wild for this time?
We are going with Endurance and Vigor.
Okay, so you can throw two of these.
Endurance gives me a +4 bonus to Constitution.
Okay.
And Vigor gives me a +8 bonus to Strength, but takes away 4 Dexterity.
Interesting. Excellent. So what is it? What does this look like? As Zurabak's Constitution and Strength swell to extraordinary size and his dexterity is fucking gutted. What does this look like?
Beefcake. Or in a cooler version, maybe kind of like Bane from the Batman.
Yeah. Considering how fucking hyped you are on poisons and shit, I love that. Your body swells and your muscles ripple outward with the crushing power of a constrictor snake. Your body roils with new muscle mass that appears so strongly it almost seems like it's going to rip your flesh. And you are empowered with the overwhelming strength and endurance of powerful wilderness creatures. What? That's your standard action?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do anything for your move action?
Nah.
Fantastic. So still strapped to this living flame, you increase your strength and endurance by a great deal. What's your strength score right now, Zurabak?
28.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That is Zurabak's turn. That makes it Queen Laticia's turn. She whistles a very high-pitched, shrill whistle, and the bone monster in the pit next to Zurabak perks up, jumps out of the pit, and with blinding speed rushes across this metal walkway over the now empty river of lava, picks up Queen Laticia, who sits astride it like a mount, and it jumps into the now empty river of lava, and she books it down into the cavernous depths of this channel beyond where you're able to see. She looks up at you all and says, "Best of luck to you," and just dips. That is
I'm gonna kill his
Letitia's
sister.
turn.
That's what I've decided.
What's up?
I'm gonna kill that woman. That's what I just decided.
Fantastic.
She's evil, right? It's fine.
That's all that ever matters. That's going to bring us to Ruger Firehide. Ruger, you're climbing a rope. It looks like the volcano is about to blow. All 3 gates are down. The metal of these gates is bulging and smoking hot, and the rumbling is getting worse. Are you climbing this rope?
Yeah, but I do want to take a quick glance around, survey the scene to see if I can point out my various friends. Any of them seem to be making their way towards escape?
So Rilla is currently standing on a length of chain over the now empty river of lava, and Hector's a little farther on, engaging with a Knight of the Pyre that is all by himself.
Rilla is standing sideways on a chain, flicking off Queen Laticia, is what Rilla's doing. Both hands.
Ah, the royal salute.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess I yell out to my friends, time to go! Kano's gonna blow! And then I start climbing that rope.
Sweet, roll me a climb check.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Gym class, bitch.
15 on the die. So, all told, that's a 22.
Damn. That's good enough that you can go double quick. And yeah, you are making real good time. You put all your effort into escaping what you assume is going to be a very bad time down here, and filled with probably a little bit of panic, I'd say. I don't think that's too reaching. You scramble up this rope incredibly quickly, and yeah, you are almost to the ceiling at this point as you make your way up, and you can see this rope is secured some ways up into this hole in the ceiling you're climbing into by an enormous grappling hook that looks like it's big enough that only Mrs. Fisher could use it, and there is some like metal pipes, it seems like, laid into the stone of this hole you're climbing into. It seems to turn to some metal pipes. And that is your turn. That makes it the bad guy's turn, and they are getting their asses kicked. Seeing that the volcano is about to explode, and especially hearing Ruger's dire warning to his own companions, the remaining Knights of the Pyre turn tail and run. They tactically withdraw, showing their asses and scurrying out of this room back through the tunnel that they and you all came through, leading up through the dungeons to the castle proper. Pretty Polly and Mrs. Fisher let them go. They don't seem too eager to chase all of them down. And Conflagration, still being gripped by Zurabak, the ring inside her chest of this darker flame flashes once, then twice, then seems to go out, and instead of a ring of dark red flame, there is a ring of smoke, which spreads, suffusing her entire body, replacing all of the flames, the arms, the legs, the torso, and now Zurabak, instead of a creature made of living flame, you are gripping a creature made of living smoke, and this black smoke slips through your fingers and churns its way up as if it has a will of its own and surges after the retreating Knights of the Pyre. And yeah.
Did the one that I was engaging with also go for a retreat?
No, he laid down and he ran as well. Go ahead and roll an attack of opportunity as he tries to retreat.
Yeah. Critical one.
He turns tail and runs away from you. You swing your maul and you shatter the obsidian underneath where he was just standing, but unfortunately you're unable to nab him, and he beats feet, running to the entrance. He turns around and says, "You'll rue this day, Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates, and Bard Extraordinaire of the College of Everspring," and keeps running.
I bet I will. I didn't get your name.
It's Kevin!
And that is all the bad guys have fled the field. So you all are left in a room that is now starting to look pretty fucking bad. These 3 giant metal gates that have slid into place are now bulging outside of their tracks. There's actually little streams of lava that are like starting to pour through as the pressure's building up, and the shaking under your feet is getting incredibly violent, and there's now giant chunks of stone falling from the ceiling of this subterranean chamber to crash to the floor. Shit's getting really bad. What do you guys do?
Has Miss Little, now a smoke monster, gotten to the exit yet?
She gone, homie.
Or then I chase after her.
Okay.
I will make her drink lava.
Okay. Zerback chases after the smoke. What do the rest of you do? Ruger is climbing.
I am climbing the rope. I am climbing for the exit that Polly entered with.
I am also heading for that rope. I also have expeditious retreat, so when I hit like the ground, I can move faster. But yeah, we're getting out of here. So
Fantastic. So Rilla pulls on her sorceress abilities, casts Expeditious Retreat, and books it up the rope, scrabbling up after Ruger. Polly and Mrs. Fisher are like holding the rope steady for you all to climb and like ushering you ahead of them. You see Polly flick that ruby earring, and as he does, the 5 clones of him that appeared wink out of existence, and he like winks at you as you guys head up. Hector, what do you do?
If everybody but Zurabak is going to the escape route, then I will go to the escape route as well. And then I will climb super fast because I'm the best at everything.
I want to say I'm pretty sure I had not Sebastian in that obscuring mist with us. So I'm going to say as I run to the rope, I scoop him up because I can just hold him now because I can walk up ropes. So I just grab
yeah,
that
that's
dude.
great. Yeah, we had forgotten about Anthony Geist, the Stricken, during this little melee. And yes, Rilla, he was standing right next to you when you cast Obscuring Mist and wisely decided not to fuck around or find out during the rest of this fight. So yeah, you snag him up and tuck him under your arm as you start easily climbing this rope with your spider climb. Hector, roll me a climb check real quick. Just see if it's catastrophic.
25.
Damn. Yeah, you're able to make double time as well. So all 3 of you fucking scramble up this rope. Polly and Fisher climb up swiftly after you guys. And
As soon as I get to the top, I immediately turn around and grab the rope and start pulling to get them up faster.
Fantastic. That's great. Especially because Miss Fisher's very, very, very heavy. She is an ogress.
Yes.
But yeah, with your massive barbarian muscles straining, you do get your companions up in the ceiling. Just as an enormous chunk of the ceiling of this chamber falls down, smashing into the stones in the floor, and you guys start shimmying your way through these metal pipes. Paulie maneuvers around so he's in front and starts leading you through a crazy cross-section of metal pipes threading their way through the stone of the mountain. And he says,
As I said, the heat from the vent down here, it's pumped up into the castle proper to provide warmth. The heat's used to vaporize the water in the Queen's personal sauna. I saw her down there with you. You didn't seem to be killing her. I suppose we'll have to unpack that all as we go.
as he says that, the pipe you're traveling in, this metal pipe, jerks violently to the side, and this enormous cracking sound rings out, and the metal pipe you're in drops into an angle backwards, and you all start scrabbling as you slide backwards. Everyone roll me reflex saving throws except Rilla, who has spider climb on.
It's about to say.
21. 12 plus 9.
Excellent. Ruger, you're able to throw your arms out, press against the sides, and catch yourself.
25.
Damn, Hector, so fantastic. So the pipe snaps and falls downward. You can see behind you that this pipe leads down into like just an endless expanse of black stone, this crevasse that's opened up, and you all scrabble up and start making your way higher and higher. Eventually, this pipe opens up into another large opening, large enough for even an ogress to squeeze through. It looks like a grate has been ripped out of the wall here. You find yourselves in a beautifully appointed sauna. Instead of a brazier in here, there's just this giant lump of stone that is glowing red hot. And the room is full of steam as you make your way through. There's robes hanging on the wall, and Polly quickly leads you out of there into one of the many hallways bisecting the palace proper. Zurabak, you are running through the dungeons after the fleeing knights of the Pyre and conflagration, who has turned into a mass of churning smoke. Snake, I assume, is trailing behind you?
Probably.
Fantastic. As you make your way through the dungeons, the ground, the ceiling, the walls around you all start to shake, rumble, and crack. As you make your way through one particular hallway, you see a knight of the Pyre laying dead from falling rocks. And you don't get but a few steps further before another giant chunk of stone falls from the ceiling almost on top of you. Roll me a reflex saving throw.
Do you want me to roll one for Snake as well?
Yes, please.
All right. We'll do Snake first since I'm already on that page. He rolled a 17 plus 7.
He's good.
And I rolled a 16 flat.
Okay, yeah, you and Snake are both good. You're able to jerk yourself to the side out of the way as this giant chunk of rock falls in your path, and you continue making your way through the dungeons. You came down not but a short while ago as you start weaving your way through the jail cells down here with their stone doors and metal grills. You do come across a pair of Knights of the Pyre who are covered in sweat and standing amidst a pile of broken rubble. They are bearing their swords wreathed in flame and staring daggers at you. Behind them, you see a roiling cloud of black smoke, almost in a humanoid form. And even as you take stock of this cloud of smoke surges upward through one of the newly...
I cast Wind Wall.
Fantastic. Where do you cast it?
Wherever she's trying to flee, and throughout it.
An invisible vertical curtain of wind appears. It's 2 feet thick. You make a wall of wind, this surging thing. Do you make it behind them or in them, or what are we doing?
Sounds like I could make a cylinder, so let's do that.
Okay.
Just around
Gotcha.
her.
You make a cylinder around Conflagration in her smoke form. Ceiling to floor, this column of roaring wind encloses the leader of the Knights of the Pyre. And as you watch, she tentatively puts out some semblance of a limb towards the wall, which shreds it immediately. The smoke recoils, and then it starts pooling towards the ceiling, and the foundations rumble again, and a crack appears in the ceiling, and she starts slipping up through that crack.
Zurabak yells after, "I will make you drink that lava!"
It is then that the Knights of the Pyre rush you in the dungeons, cutting back to the rest of the crew. You guys get up to the winding hallways of Skull Splitter Palace, and it is in quite an uproar. All of the cultists of the Cult of the Stricken are surging hither and yon in a panic, some of them with pockets full of gold, some of them trying to find shelter. You see more than a couple folks hiding under tables, and the chandeliers sway crazily, and tall statues and mirrors come crashing to the ground as you make your way through the palace. Polly pulls you down a hallway away from the front door and to a small side passage that leads outside of the palace. You see the ash storm, giant flakes of ash falling all around you the second you step outside, and you also see brilliant, blazing lava hurling in a gigantic shaft skyward behind you as the mountain erupts and unleashes its tectonic fury upon the island of Garu. There is an ocean of lava pouring out of its roiling peak, oozing down the sides of the mountain, and the island all around you is shaking as if clutched in the hands of a psychotic child. Giant cracks spiderweb out from where you're standing, and you see the Void Spike standing some 50 feet tall in front of you, all roiling black. And even as you watch, one of these enormous cracks spiderwebbing out appears underneath the Void Spike, and with a horrific shudder, the stone almost ripples open, leaving a giant chasm underneath it, and from that chasm, a font of lava, this wall of molten rock, erupts, engulfing the Void Spike within it, and with the sound of quenching iron, this horrific hissing that seems to tear through your very soul, you see the Void Spike start to crumple, wither, and eventually disappear. And that is where we will end.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Hey there, listeners. It's Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I have some exciting news. We here at Challenge Rating Zero have our very first sponsor, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. Find them on South Grand or at their new location on Cherokee Street. Or, for those of you listeners not living in St. Louis, Missouri, find them at shopapotheosis.com. Voted St. Louis's best comic book store twice over by the Riverfront Times, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge should be your one-stop shop for comics, graphic novels, D&D swag, and more. Not only can you find the latest titles from your favorite superheroes, but you can do so with a cold, locally sourced beer from your favorite St. Louis breweries. That's right. Not only can you find comics and cold beers at Apotheosis Comics and Lounge, but you might also come across yours truly, running one of my favorite role-playing games, Dungeons & Dragons. Apotheosis Comics and Lounge, the latest and greatest sponsor of the latest and greatest D&D podcast, Challenge Rating Zero. Check them. Hello and welcome to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into our player characters' motivations, characterizations, frustrations, and try to get a better understanding of them as people. In this part of our show, we like to ask each of our player characters a question and see if we can't unearth some deeper truth about them. The question for today is, what do you like most about yourself? We were a little self-critical last time, asking our player characters what they'd like to change. In this one, we'd like to focus on the positive, see what our diverse group of heroes enjoys most about themselves. Now, questions like this can be tricky, as all of us are biased by our own perspective, but I'm very curious to see what we have today. Let's start with Rilla. Rilla, Long Shadow, fresh off your trial in the Roomba High Council. It is so good to see you here in one piece. Just let me say this real quick. The Roombas are gone. The Roomba Tribunal has been overthrown, and Rilla and Hector are safe and sound. Everything's back to normal. The studio is clean, but not controlled by killer robots clean. Again, Rilla, I'm just glad you're safe, and everything's kind of back to normal. In the interim, Rilla, it's time to get back to our core competencies. Here's the question for today is, what do you like most about yourself? I know that especially from our talk last time, you are a bit, I think it might be fair to say, conflicted perhaps about your bloodline, the people that raised you. I'm curious with all the things that you're able to change about yourself, as mutable as you are. What is something that you do like about yourself? What's your favorite thing?
Oh, host. I think it should be pretty clear that I don't like myself at all. Obviously.
Right. I think that's fairly clear and no less heartbreaking for all of that. I suppose a shapeshifter wants to be everything but themselves, but you are a powerful spellcaster, a loving sister. You are an adventurer who's trying to save the world. Is there no aspect of yourself, physically, spiritually, mentally, no part of yourself that you like or hate the least, maybe?
At this point in my life, I think the answer is no, I do not like any part of myself. At this point in my life.
Wow.
I certainly am contributing actions that go towards the common good and trying to be good to the people who care about me, limited though they are. But, I think that's I feel like this is a pretty obvious one that, to speak in the third person, Rilla doesn't like herself. So, final answer, no, there's not.
Well, Rilla, I'm not just the host of this little podcast after the podcast. I also like to think of myself as, if not a friend, then someone that you've saved from certain doom on at least 2 occasions now at this point, both times without me even having my pants on. And,
we gotta work on that.
as someone that, they're the first thing to go. I don't know why. I think that it's important that I tell you that there is plenty to like. I mean, who the fuck am I? But there's plenty to like there, Rilla. But it's not my job to editorialize, and I've certainly am not a counselor or anything. That's an honest answer, a perfectly fair answer, and I don't know. Maybe we'll revisit this subject again and see if any of that changes. But that is, if that is your truth, then so be it. Yeah. In any case, I'm glad that you have been acquitted of the charges brought against you by the Roomba Tribunal, and I'm glad that you're safe and sound, and we can all be here again to unearth surprisingly dark answers to what I thought would be just real softball questions.
Can you imagine how tough it would have been to watch me get drawn and quartered by 4 small robots? It would have taken forever.
It would have taken forever, right? That's what I was going to say. Oh, man. It would have taken so long. God. Yeah, no, I'm really glad we didn't have to sit through that. All right, Rilla. Well, thank you for your candor. We'll see you next time. Okay, be careful out there. Next we got Zerabak. Zerabak, King of the Shocker Lizards, Champion of the Goats, Emperor of the Rats, Duke of Niho, Zerabak the Unburned. Welcome to our studio. Now Roomba free.
Well, I still got this one as a hat.
Sure. Well, that one's deactivated, right?
Probably.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's not going to trigger any PTSD or anything. That's fine. So Zurabak, we got a real softball question today. The question for today is, what's your favorite thing about yourself?
Oh, I mean, that's kind of hard. Have you seen me? I'm amazing.
You certainly like to say that. Is there one amazing thing in particular that you might single out above all the others?
I'm not you.
Asked and answered.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, again, just burning me to the fucking ground as usual. Always appreciated. Glad to see that you still inadvertently saved me from certain peril, and Rilla and Hector, even though you hate all of us. But I guess you just love yourself too much to ever fail at anything. So, asked and answered.
I mean, it's kind of hard to fail when you're this amazing.
Sure, of course. Well, with that, I'm gonna go dry heave in the corner, and then I guess we'll just get the next person to go. Sharon.
All right. And here's my the $20 top $20 I owed you.
Okay.
I didn't think you could lose your pants twice, but wow.
Zurabak, I
Prove me
win.
wrong.
I win this bet every time, Zurabak. Every time. Never doubt that in a life-threatening scenario, especially an apocalyptic one, I will lose my pants almost immediately. Thank you very much.
I just know better now. Didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty amazing. Have you seen me? You've seen more of me than anyone probably should. All right, next.
Poor Sharon.
Yeah, poor Sharon. Next up, we've got Hector the Gatekeeper, Keeper of the Gates. Hector, how the hell are you, sir?
I'm doing better now. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to see that the Roomba High Command is their brainwashing is finally worn off.
As I keep saying, it was all a clever ruse on my part. That's definitely true.
Sure, absolutely. Well, given that you are capable of such a clever ruse to nearly kill all of your companions at the behest of murder robots, my question for today is, what's your favorite thing about yourself?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, this isn't my answer, but my humility.
Of course. Sharon, can we get Hector a plaque for his humility? Sharon, do we have any extra humility plaques? Sorry, we're all out, bud. What else did you have?
No, but being serious, I would say my knack for empathy. I try and understand what others are going through. I try and help people because I am able to put myself in their place. Yeah.
Well, that's certainly a lovely thing. Excellent to see that you are able to meet people where they are. That's one of the most important things when you're trying to help folks. And definitely an attribute anyone would want in a hero, for sure. I'm sure that assists a great deal when you're out there gallivanting, trying to save the world.
Then, of course, my number 2 answer would be these abs.
Fuck yeah! Wow, I forgot about those abs. Look at those fucking. Did you oil those?
They just do that on their own. That's just natural sweat.
You're fucking kidding me. I can see myself in your. It's like a funhouse mirror. Jesus Christ! All right, you got to get out of here. Thanks, Hector. Till next time. All right. Last but not least, we got the lawman Ruger Firehide. Ruger.
Well, hey there, hosts. Last time I saw you, you were butt naked and sweating like a villain in the witness box.
Yeah.
Sorry about the cross-examination, buddy. I really didn't mean to come at you that way, but it was part of the job, you know?
Yeah, no, I have to say I've never been so viciously cross-examined in my entire life. I didn't really read up on the rules of Roomba Court, so I didn't realize that cross-examinations entailed, battle axes.
Yeah, Yeah,
and crossbows. So that was an unpleasant surprise for me.
it was a very surprising turn of events. There you were, sweating like a pig, and then boom! The wall explodes. I had no idea. It was wild.
Well, we can all be happy that Zerabak figured out how to make pipe bombs. I think that was really the turning point of the whole trial. In any event, now that you're no longer... thanks so much for listening to this little show of ours, and until next time, be good out there, folks. Bye. For today, Mr. Firehide is... What's your favorite thing about yourself?
Well, host, that's a great question. As far as what I like about myself, I guess earnest answer, I'm proud of my moral compass. Not to say that I haven't made mistakes in my life. Obviously, I have.
Sure.
But by and large, I've tried to live my life following a code to help people and instill some semblance of order in a world built on chaos. So, flaws included, I've always been proud that I try and walk the path,
Well, that's certainly admirable, and something that I'm sure your friends and loved ones appreciate about you as well. I'm sure with an entire lifetime, a career as a lawman, knowing what's right in your heart, knowing the proper path has got to be immeasurably helpful. Sort of a kind of a prerequisite for the job, I would imagine.
No, yeah, naturally. That and this here jawline, also a requirement for the profession.
It is chiseled. Can I just... Ow, I fucking cut myself on your... Jesus Christ. All right. Sharon, get the Band-Aids. All right, you got to go. You got to get out of here. I just got the studio back in order. Thank you all for listening to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast. Sharon and I appreciate you listening to our little show. And until next time, keep those dice turning. Shit. It's fucking sharp as hell. Hey there, dear listeners. Sam, the DM here, checking in with the credits at the end of the show. Challenge Rating 0 is edited by the incomparable Matthew Sims, a.k.a. Audius Prime. If you'd like to secure his services for yourself, you can go to audiusprime.com. Music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by the harp wolf Danielle Taylor-Williams, including our beloved theme song. You can find more of her work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com. She has an album out called Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change? You should check it out. It's a real banger. Additional music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by Justin Ra. You can find more of his work at justinra.com. He also has an album out called Age of the Spirit, which is also quite the banger. If you'd like to reach out to us here at Challenge Rating 0, you can follow us on Twitter at challenge_ZERO. You can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at Challenge Rating ZERO. And if you'd like to contact us, you can email us at challengeratingzero@gmail.com. If anyone out there would like to give us some questions for As the Dice Turns segment, your questions will be read on the show. Want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. You can check them out at shopapotheosis.com. That is SHOPAPOTHEOSIS, shopapotheosis.com.